Hi, good afternoon, and welcome back to Perry Geriatric, the channel where you get to hear the rantings and opinions of a Perry Geriatric person. And in case you're new here, the sunglasses I wear is like a channel brand type of thing, so you can recognize me in my thumbnails. It lets you see, yeah, I'm an old person. I got old person neck, I got old person wrinkles. Yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm a legitimate old person, and these things provide me a little modicum of privacy. So, thanks for clicking on my clickbaity kind of title, 8 Things That I've Learned About Depression. And yeah, it's there's some clickbaity type information, but I wouldn't have made this if it doesn't have real helpful insights. Why you should listen to me? I'm old. I'm over 50. I have been depressed multiple times. Hit like a truck when I was a teenager. You might notice I'm trying not to swear on this channel. I don't know how effective I'll be at not swearing, but yeah, I'm old. I've been depressed many times. I'm still here. So the first thing that I can tell you is by living this life and going through it, being depressed and sticking around, for lack of a better word, I've learned it's not all negative, all terrible, all the time. Luck or runs of bad luck end. Same way runs of good luck end. It's normal. It's going to shake out over time. It's going to even out. You're going to see positive things. I can easily, honestly tell you at 50 plus, I have changed in ways I would have never imagined. Done things, gone places, had so many different jobs. I've been to other continents, I've lived in other countries, and yeah, I would have never seen any of that coming. So, this is your story that you're building. This is literally your life. You're doing the work, you're putting the pieces in. You should stick around and see how it plays out. You should get your reward. You should get what you want. I'm actually going to have another point here later on, but I'll mention it. Is you do want to take stock of your life at some point. You do want to see where you're at and have plans and goals and dreams and see them through. Why not? And secondly, this kind of also goes in with why you should even listen to me. Is besides being depressed, I've tried the typical things that most people do. I've indulged in substance abuse multiple times, uh, basically to a self destructive degree. An easy little clickbaity thing I can tell you is substance abuse doesn't work. It doesn't. You'll feel a little better temporarily, but any of these things, any of them, are poison. You're hurting yourself, you're hurting your body. Yeah, these things do not work. And me personally, um, I've got over 6 years free of alcohol. It's not always easy, but it's doable. I'm here. There hasn't been any falling off the wagon. Um, I've actually also done this without AA. Nothing really against AA. It's not for me. I mean, I do see that it helps a lot of people, and if you're one of those people, by all means, go there, have the community, get that experience. But I actually do want to make an entire separate videos worth, not only of why it didn't work for me, but things you can take from AA without having to go to it. Okay, so something else that I've learned when you're going through these bad times, hardship, it's going to prove to you who your friends are. Because what it's going to show is that you really don't have as many friends as you think you have. There's a saying from an old Japanese book called Hagakure that if you would see inside someone's heart become ill, family will excuse themselves and your friends will disappear. So, another thing I can tell you is at this point, if you're going through it or when you go through it, pay attention. See who's around. It's not going to be many people, and remember them. Take care of them. Be there for them. Those are the few people that you have that you can count on, and that's one of the few values or good things that you can get out of bad times. Yeah, that's something else I'd want to put maybe more towards the beginning. What you're looking at and what you're feeling and what you're experiencing as bad times. Yeah, it may be hard. It definitely may have more hardship than other points in your life. But if you look back on this, maybe 3 months from now, maybe 3 years from now, 6 months, who knows what the number is. But with a different perspective, you will see things entirely differently. That's one of the best benefits of sticking around and seeing how things play out is you'll get to look back at different points and see, well, yeah, that felt bad or that was harsh, but look where I am now. This is actually something I didn't put on here, I didn't mean to include, but when you get older, I'm at this point, when you look back at your life, if you're happy with where you are, and everything doesn't have to be perfect, but you have things to be grateful for, things to be happy about, well, all those points, all that depression, all that sadness, all those bad things, they had to happen to put you where you are today. You needed every single one of those. And the lessons that you learned, so while it doesn't seem like there's much to cheer about in hardship and in bad times, you're building keystones, you're building a foundation, you're building something you can stand on, something that's sturdy. So, another thing that I can tell you is a lot of these things kind of boil down to like almost simple platitudes that you might see somewhere, like, keep on going, or. But the more that I look at them, there's there's a lot of truth to these real simple things, because this one, it's not an overstatement to say that your time is precious. Now, I'm not saying this from a point of view to try to be pushing that, every moment is precious, you should be out there grinding, 24/7. And no, that's not what I'm saying. Is more to keep in mind, to have an example of this. Just keep in mind your daily life, your daily week or month. What takes up your time? What are you doing? I mean, obviously, certain things like work, you don't have an option as far as, or commuting to work. But on your free time, pay attention, whether it's a thing or whether it's people, and, obviously make a judgment on whether that's worthwhile. Example that I'd have is, maybe somebody watches this video, and then a few days later, you just happen to notice how much time you spend watching football or any other sport. And then put into your mind, or maybe it pops in there, what else could you be doing with that time? I don't necessarily even mean, you have to be productive and working towards, an extra degree or something, but at least be cognizant of what's eating up your time, and maybe you don't want to do that anymore. maybe the idea of getting a different degree or certification or something to help you out would serve you better than watching football. Not to pick on football, but me personally, I did notice how much time it gobbled up, and I'm old. This was before Thursday night football. Saturday was for college. I was pretty much just watching football on Sunday and Monday night, and that was it, and it was gobbling up a lot of my time. So, yeah, obviously, there's a lot of use here, but for me, this part was a little surprising. Is there actual, like, physical things that you can do? I'm talking about when you're really depressed, can't shake it off. All the advice you've been hearing doesn't work. I tried antidepressants, probably the vast majority of what they have out there. I really wish one of them would have worked for me. It didn't. But yeah, this surprising information, and one of the last points that I'll leave you with, is there are things called, it's one of them's called tapping. You literally tap yourself. I mean, you have to, look up and, hit the right points or whatever, but you can physically help alleviate these symptoms. One thing, it doesn't sound logical or whatnot, but there is science behind this and tapping. You can also hum. I'm not sure if I did that correctly or at what frequency you're supposed to do this at, but obviously you can look it up if this is something you need. But besides, the obvious big things like exercise where you're going to get endorphins, I just wanted to point out that there are simple, really little things that are at our fingertips that are available to all of us that can help when friends, family, medications, the other things aren't around, aren't useful. Um, yeah, and lastly, I find this really important and really helpful, whether it's just a normal day or I'm dealing with depression or not. But in your life, have plans, goals, dreams, things you want to accomplish, things that you want to stick around and see how it works out. And also be realistic, whether something is a plan, a goal, or a dream. And I don't mean that to say don't take your dreams seriously and don't follow them and don't put the effort in. I suggest exactly the opposite, that you put the same level of care and work into a dream as much as a plan or a goal. But it really does help to have these things there as something to look forward to, something that you're working towards. And, I almost forgot to say, as always, if you get anything out of these videos, if you enjoy it and you like it, well, then find wherever the like button is. I don't know if it'll be over here. Tap the like button and the subscribe button. Help me out, and hopefully we'll see each other again sometime soon.